2023 is likely to be all about the landing, both in Australia and elsewhere. 2022 saw the most aggressive monetary policy tightening in decades, and that will, as it's meant to, feed through over the next year to slower consumption and slower economic activity. I don't think the landing is going to be too bumpy. There will inevitably be some difficulties, but a few factors suggest we shouldn't be expecting the worst. Firstly, household balance sheets are in very good shape. In Australia, the US, and a range of other countries, households have worked hard the last 15 years to moderate growth in their liabilities and improve cash levels on their balance sheets. Secondly, in the US, this period of strong growth has been led by the real economy rather than by credit. This has been the least credit-intensive US economic upswing in at least 4 decades. And thirdly, China, the world's second largest economy, has been easing policy rather than tightening. It is still facing COVID challenges, but as 2023 progresses, I'm hopeful COVID will be less of a constraint on the economy and policy easing can flow through to stronger economic activity. Crucially, this is likely to be occurring at just the time growth elsewhere is at its low point. Recessions are likely in the US, Europe and United Kingdom, but they aren't likely to be too deep or damaging. In fact, a recalibration of demand and supply is likely to benefit some parts of the economy. A mild recession will bring some respite to consumers facing challenging cost of living issues. It will also normalise demand such that businesses will be better able to achieve surety of supply and hold on to staff. Certainly, a recession will be disruptive for some industries and businesses, but inflation itself is disruptive and damaging. In Australia, a recession is unlikely. That doesn't mean we'll get off scot-free. House prices are likely to fall further, and housing construction activity and home lending will follow. The price decline has been orderly so far though, and I expect that to continue. Strong levels of employment are limiting the number of forced sellers, and strong wage and employment growth are helping consumers cope with higher interest rates. Business lending has more than offset the slowdown in house lending. Business investment expectations have remained strong through the hiking cycle, suggesting that as consumer demand slows and frees up resources, business investment is likely to pick up some of that slack. Global support for climate change has broadened and will influence much. More than 90% of the world's carbon emissions are now covered by a net zero carbon target. In an inflationary environment, the things we want to do will increasingly need to be thought of in opportunity cost terms. What will we do less of in order to free up the resources? 2022's rate hikes will inevitably result in an economic landing in 2023. I don't think the landing will be too bumpy.